The Bullhorn is all things regarding the Lethbridge Bulls of the Western Canadian Baseball League. The Bullhorn has the latest news on the team, interviews with coaches and players, signings, game recaps, and updates on all the events happening at Spitz Stadium. The Bullhorn is your place for all things baseball in Lethbridge. Get your horns up for the Bullhorn, the Lethbridge Bulls Baseball Reports.
Welcome back to Bullhorn, Lethbridge Bulls Baseball Report, up and running once again on Rogers TV right across Alberta, the Maple Leaf Baseball Network YouTube channel, and wherever it is you do get your podcast. Lots going on here. We're just over 3 weeks away from the Canadian Grand Slam of Baseball Showcase and Festival here at Spitz on May 21st to the 31st. Lots of action going on. The CCBC World Series Championship, the Baseball Canada National Qualifier, and we got obviously the Bulls opening weekend as well, who start on the 28th of May versus the Brooks Bombers. And then the next night on Friday night, we have the Swift Current 57s coming to town. We've got lots of stuff going on here. We'll get to that after a couple interviews today. First off, we have Lucas Huynh. He's joining us from University of British Columbia. He'll be back for his, I think it's his third year with the Bulls. Reliever had probably going to be in the closing role this time around for Lethbridge Bulls. So he comes to talk about what he expects the rest of his college season, and then what he's looking forward to coming back, and lofty expectations for Lucas Huynh and Lethbridge Bulls coming up for 2026. And then we have Nicole Luchanski, retired member of the women's national baseball team, Team Canada, for many, many years. But she stopped in on Sunday at the time of this recording to have a chat about the upcoming Legends of Canadian Sport Baseball Gala on the 27th of May, and some other events we have going on here with the Girls Got Game event and the different things we have going on here for all genders and ages for the National Grand Slam. But we'll get to Lucas Huynh's interview right after these messages from some of our sponsors.
Canada has produced some incredible baseball stories, and this spring, those stories come to Lethbridge. Join us for the Legends of Canada Baseball Gala, featuring one of Canada's most exciting Major League stars, Kevin Pillar. A night of stories, celebration, and Canadian baseball history. Part of the Canadian Grand Slam Baseball Showcase. Reserve your seat now.
This summer, there's only one place to be, and that's Spitz Stadium.
You can sit here. Or here.
You can sit here.
Or here.
Or even here. But not here. Get your tickets now at bullsbaseball.com and come experience Bulls baseball all summer long. It's going to be unbelievable.
Welcome back to Bullhorn, Lethbridge Bulls Baseball Report on Rogers TV and on the Maple Leaf Baseball Network YouTube channel. We are joined today by Lucas Huynh, reliever for Lethbridge Bulls out in UBC. How you doing today, Lucas?
I'm doing excellent. Can't ask for anything better. Weather's nice. We got baseball, and finals are almost over. So
there you go. You're you said, like yesterday, I contacted you about coming on the show, and you're saying that you got baseball happening and finals happening, and that's just part of being a student athlete. Is this the time of year where it really gets a little bit daunting? I guess a little bit tough, where you got to juggle all this stuff and try to be a kid and everything else. A little bit tough sometimes.
Absolutely. Especially like our schedule right now. We just came back from a 13-hour bus ride from Klamath Falls, and the day right after, 5 guys had final exams. So, being able to balance school and baseball at the same time, really challenging, but everyone loves it. Can't complain.
Well, that's all part of it too. You could be doing a lot worse things at your age for sure. You're having a really, you could be digging a ditch somewhere, but you got 25 strikeouts and 17 innings pitched so far for the Thunderbirds out there. What's been and only a couple 9 walks, I think, in those 25 in the innings pitched. What's been your secret so far?
For me, it's just mostly chasing like feels, not numbers. Trying to stay consistent, look for just like focusing on my cues, my do's, like something I can do every time I get on the mound. As long as I can stay consistent and figure out how to, where I release the ball for like my fastball, slider, something that's repeatable every time, it's really easy for me to, throw strikes. And that's always been my biggest problem, is just throwing strikes, staying in the zone. My stuff's nasty.
Do you like? I don't know what kind of metrics you guys follow and stats and everything else you got going on, and reports of all your guys that you're going up against. There's so many different ways that they keep track of this stuff. Do you take much notice in that stuff, or is it like you get up there, righty lefty matchup, and just I got to throw strikes and attack the hitter, or what's your approach on when you know you're going into a game? Do you get some background stats? How does it all work?
Yeah, we do have a little bit of a scouting report on teams before we go in. But for me, it doesn't really matter. My mentality is I'm going to go right after you. I think my stuff's better than yours. If you beat me, you beat me. The biggest thing is that I just don't beat myself and give you a free base. So I really don't care who's at the plate. I'm going to challenge them.
When did that kind of change for you? I know some younger guys, not that you're old by any means, but there's some younger guys. They really try to just throw as hard as they can, and they don't go with their best stuff. When did it kind of change between your ears to say, if I go out there and get beat, then the better man won at that point? I got to make sure that I give the fielders a chance to make things happen. If I walk them, then nothing happens. When did it change between your ears for that to all work out that way?
It was my last season with the Bulls. I remember at the beginning of the year, I was trying too hard to throw as hard as I could. And I had a lot of walks early on. You can look at stats. I think I walked like a guy every single outing. And it was just at one point where I just started feeling a little more comfortable. And I started realizing, like, who cares? Like, I can't keep beating myself because I'm going to let my team down. And I just got to focus on giving myself the best chance of succeeding, giving the team the best chance of succeeding, and just leaving it all out there,
Like when you guys are like out in the bullpen, I know it's not the most baseball-based conversations happening out there a lot of times. There's a lot of more non-baseball chat than there's baseball chat at times. But do relief pitchers talk about this kind of stuff a lot when you actually are talking about baseball?
Yeah, I say it definitely comes up. You're definitely right about the first part. A lot of non-baseball chat in the bullpen, of course. But I think that's actually necessary. It keeps us loose, keeps us more calm, relaxed. I know for me, like early on when I started being a reliever, it was really stressful, and I was very anxious getting out of the bullpen, trying to like prove to everybody like what I could do, trying to like, thinking that, I have to, put the team on my back. I have to go strike out the next 3 dudes. But it's just not like that. We just kind of like when we're in the bullpen, it's just we just try to make it a little easier on ourselves. Like the guys just talk about, like I mentioned earlier, different cues when you're pitching. Different things. Following a routine was really important. Levi Abbott taught me that actually during last season. Like, hey, do you have a plan? Like when you go out and throw a bullpen, like before you go in the game? I did not. I just threw as many pitches as I could to get hot. And he's like, if you have a plan, a routine, it just makes it a lot easier because when you check those boxes, you're ready to go right away and you're not guessing.
Like you talk about like Levi being an influence and a good guy to have around last year, but like who are some other influences you had in your development over the years from like when you started Little League and then all of a sudden you're pitching at UBC and then you're pitching in front of thousands of people in WCBL? Like how did it all transform? Who's been somebody to teach Lucas Huynh about the game of baseball a little bit?
For me, it was Vic Vicarte Domingo. I'm like best friends with his younger brother, and he's been around my baseball career my whole life from starting out as Pee Wee. Yeah, no, he got drafted 2 years ago. He was a relief pitcher. We live in the same neighborhood. He taught me a lot of really good stuff about just baseball, life, the process. I do look up to him, and I still talk to him quite a lot. And I try to aspire to be like him.
Do you like sometimes when things just aren't going right, just a mental block? Baseball is what 80% mental, 20% physical, or it's just when things aren't going what your way. What do you do to try to reset? Like it can go south for you. You think you're doing the exact same thing over, and you very well could be. It's just not working. Like confidence is it can go away pretty quick.
Yeah. For me, as long as I'm following my process and the results aren't there, I'm pretty happy. I definitely know what you're talking about. I recently went through a little rough patch where I was walking some guys. I think I doubled my walks in one outing, and I just didn't know what happened. I thought I was doing everything right, and it sucked. And the next game was really challenging for me because I knew like I couldn't carry this forward. So something that that helped me out is just kind of looking back, reviewing like what may have went wrong, but at the same time not overthinking it. That's a big thing for me. If you overthink it, you're gonna let it eat at you all the time. You kind of just have to, trust the process, trust what's gotten you there, and kind of have a short memory.
And on the other side of things, it can have a short memory the other way too. But when things are going well for you, Lucas, like, and you're like, oh yeah, I got this. And has there been a point in the last few years, like you've been a couple years up here with the Bulls and UBC, there been times where like no one's touching me today or this week or whatever it might be?
Absolutely. I mean, that's the best feeling in baseball for a relief pitcher, when you just have that flow state where you know that you can just blow the doors off the batter, or he's not going to touch you. And I try not to let that get to like my head. I don't think it's good to let it get to your head, because as much as confidence is
Because it
good.
can go south pretty quick as soon as you think you're doing all
Exactly,
right. You get a
exactly.
case of
One bad
whiplash, they're
day
going
and
over
you're
the
out of
fence
there.
350 feet. Yeah, so it is funny
No,
how
you're
that
exactly
works.
right. Someone can humble you real quick, and then you just crash so much harder. So
It's
keeping
it'd
that
be a,
balance is
it can
really
be a
important.
very, very humbling game. Take us to your, like, let's start with just in UBC, then maybe we'll go into the Bulls in a second here. But at UBC, you got school and you got practice and you got workouts and what's your daily routine like? What's like, because you're in business school, correct?
Yes.
So what's your daily routine like?
Oh, so I'm a commuter student too. I don't live on campus, so I'm lucky to live at home. That being said, it's 75 minutes, like a little over an hour by bus. So 9:30 class, I'll wake up at like 7, I'll eat, get ready, pack food for the day. I can't just go home and get food, so I have to really plan it all.
Yeah.
Hop on the bus, hit up classes, normally done before 12:30. Practice 1 to 4. Small break, we'll lift from 5 to 6. And then every other week we have a team meeting at 8 p.m. So that really puts a wrench in my my routine, but
You
I
get to
can't
know the
complain.
transit system a little bit better than you thought you'd have to, probably.
Oh yeah.
You like I gotta like I'm not to laugh at you, but it was always put a smile on my face like when you come to Spitz before a game last summer and you go for a walk. I don't know if you were pitching that day or you decided to go for a little jaunt around Henderson Lake. What were you collecting your thoughts or just looking at the scenery? What was that all about there, Lucas, around Old Hendo?
I mean, it's a beautiful day and you have a beautiful lake. I don't got that over here, so I'm gonna take advantage of it. I mean, I think it's healthy to get your steps in. It's good for your mental health just to walk around. Me and me, Aiden, Corbin, we all go for a little walk now and then. I don't know. It's just fun.
No, there's nothing wrong with it. I just because the other guys just sit around and do whatever they're doing in the locker room, and you guys went for a nice walk. I thought it was very maybe more people should have been joining. But then you would have had too many people, and it would have got loud, and it wouldn't have been the same Zen moment, I guess, the way it was. You're coming back to Lethbridge again for another season. Did you jump at the opportunity? Was there ever a point you're like maybe I'm not I need to take a summer off, or I want to come back, or maybe look for something closer to home? What was the whole thought process when you first got asked to come back for another year?
I mean, after our last season, I felt like we had a core of like some really good guys, and the consensus is that we're all going to come back and we're trying to win this thing. So as soon as Bergie and Dicker, they all sent me the contract, I just signed right away and said, yeah, I'm on board. Like I want to win this thing. I think we have a great group of guys that has a really good chance of taking one home for Lethbridge this year, and I'm really excited to come back and play with these guys.
Yeah, what's like this kind of like I know I've had some different conversations with Berg about this and then with Ryan McDonald as well about usage that they use you guys during the summer. Do you guys get a bit of a finger wagging from your coach before you head out this way, saying, okay, this many innings, this is what the rules are? I've always wondered what the actual because there's nights where okay, this guy's going, let's keep using him, but then you have to realize that you got a career ahead of you and your college is taking care of things for you. Do you get a bit of a speech from your coaching staff back to UBC before you head out this way?
Yeah, absolutely. It kind of depends on how many innings you throw. Luckily, I'm a relief pitcher, so I don't have too many under my belt as much as a starter. So I'm allowed to let loose in the summer. But I know for some of the starting pitchers, they might take a couple of weeks off before they head out to summer ball, or they might not even do it at all. They might just stay home and get some recovery, get healthy.
Yeah, you guys are having a pretty good season out there at UBC. What's your hopes and expectations for this season? Lofty or reasonable? What's your thought out there? Like, I know you want to win everything, win the championship. What's your is that the ultimate goal? Obviously.
Yeah, of course. Last year we made it to the World Series, first time since 2006, and we're trying to get back there again. If we can get the 4-game sweep this weekend, we're able to host conference. Huge advantage for us not having to go down to the States and having to make all the other teams come up here. We want to we just want to make it back there, prove to everybody that one team in Canada can compete.
Is that like when you guys go down to the States? Obviously, you don't like the Canadian team, but like, is there a lot of I don't want to say chirping, but is there a lot of conversations about that? Because like it's just a different. I know Canadian baseball doesn't get the due process it deserves at times, but do you guys are you guys playing the underdog at times?
I think so, absolutely. I mean, we don't really hear too many chirps. They're actually pretty respectful, but at the same time, we just kind of have this feeling that, okay, we're the Canadian team, like I felt like, yeah, we're a little bit treated like an underdog. A lot of people say like all the talent goes to the States, and that's just not true. We have a lot of great guys on this team. We have a couple draft picks every year. I mean, we can compete just as much as everyone else can, and we really want to show that this year too.
No, it's always it's funny how you just that imaginary line, people just automatically assume that on the 49th parallel. But you're coming back to Lethbridge again. What are you looking forward to the most this upcoming 2026 season in Lethbridge?
I'm really excited to see the boys. Like last year, like I said, we had a really good core group of guys. We love playing the game. We love trying to win games and do the city well. We want to win the chip. I'm just really excited to play this group of guys. It's a really special group. There's nothing more can really be said. We do a lot of fun stuff on and off the field, and we push each other to be better every day. Like I just absolutely love playing with these dudes.
Do you mind the bus trips? Some guys hate them, some guys like them. It's like, what's your take on the old bus trip? Because the buses, I like that. I'm quite a bit older than you, but like the buses used to be not pretty. There might have been a VCR on those things back in the '90s. Like what are the bus trips like for you, Lucas? Are you a phone guy? Are you a movie guy? Or what? Or you sleep a lot? Like what's your go-to on the bus?
Ooh, I mean, I'm definitely like a mafia guy or play some cards in the back guy. I'm happy to get my own seat, which is kind of cool now because I'm a little older and I'm a larger dude. Like no one wants to share a seat with me, so
yeah.
I'm pretty happy. I don't mind the long trips. Always download a good movie, listen to some music, but mostly it's just a bunch of us playing some cards in the back.
Completely 100% legal. There's no gambling involved. It's just
No,
cards.
of course
they're playing.
not. No,
they're playing fish. It's fish and crib.
Yeah.
No monetary exchanges are being had. No. Starving student athletes, right?
Absolutely.
That's right. Anyways, no, Lucas, I know you got a busy day ahead of you and everything else. Good luck in your upcoming season. I got 3 easy questions. I'm sure you know how this all works, and we'll get you out of here. Ready to go?
Far away.
You can't be wrong.
Okay,
you can't be wrong. What's the best sandwich?
You know what? This is gonna. You said there's no right answers. The old reliable PB&J. You got no food in the house. It's a decent meal before a game. I got to go with the old reliable. It's been there for me.
There you go. Favorite player growing up and why?
Ooh, 2015 Blue Jays. I love watching Josh Donaldson play. He had absolute bombs, explosive swings, made some good web gems at third base. He was probably my favorite player growing up.
He didn't mind himself either a little bit. He had a little bit of a swagger to him.
Oh yeah.
Actually, we have I don't know if we have Kevin Pillar coming here from that 15 team in right before your guys actually be here for the second game of the season for a gala thing. So maybe you'll get to meet Kevin Pillar. Good guy. I got to interview him a while ago. And last but not least, Lucas wins on the transit in Vancouver. What's in the headphones?
Oh man, I'm listening to Kanye West. Yeah, anything. I think he's my favorite artist. Right now, yeah, no. That's
you said that out loud, hey? Kanye's got to have some legal problem, but whatever. That's his prerogative. Just go put out a good tune now and then. Wow, you're gutsy, Lucas. So, hey, Lucas, thank you very much for joining us here in the Bullhorn Lethbridge Bulls Baseball Report, and we look forward to seeing you up here at the end of May, and good luck the rest of your season at UBC.
Thank you for having me. I can't wait to take the mound for the Bulls.
All right, thanks, Lucas. We'll talk to you very soon.
Take care.
Sharp in the front, bold in the back, Mullet lives at Dime Barbershop.
This might be our biggest play yet!
The Dime aims to please every customer with friendly greetings and high-quality haircuts.
Canada has produced some incredible baseball stories, and this spring, those stories come to Lethbridge. Join us for the Legends of Canada Baseball Gala, featuring one of Canada's most exciting Major League stars, Kevin Pillar. A night of stories, celebration, and Canadian baseball history. Part of the Canadian Grand Slam Baseball Showcase. Reserve your seat now.
Welcome back to Bullhorn Lethbridge Bulls baseball report on Rogers TV right across Alberta and on the Maple Leaf Baseball Network YouTube channel. Today we are joined by retired Team Canada Women's National Team member Nicole Luchanski is going to be joining us here on the 27th for the Legends of Canadians Baseball Gala. And how you doing today, Nicole?
Yeah, great. Thanks, Brent.
You're coming down. We're just talking off air a little bit about the weather situation we got here. How's things up in Edmonton, and is there any baseball being played?
Yeah, it's pretty cold. It's pretty snowy. Some people have had a few little mental breakdowns about it, but we're moving forward. I think it's supposed to be 19 again this week at some point. I've seen a few people playing. I think there's been people playing outside before this happened this weekend, but they'll be back.
It's funny how we're surprised every year in Canada this happens, but every year at some point or other snows in April or May or whatever it might be. But let's get back to you and how you got started in baseball. Like you probably started in T-ball. What was the transition? Like, how did you decide to? Because like girls, young females, they have a chance to go play softball or go play baseball, wherever it might be. What when you got past the T-ball stage or coach pitch, what made you decide to stick with baseball?
It's interesting. Yeah, we at some point you go from coach pitch to player pitch, and that's when you kind of decide to do baseball or softball. And just like baseball, wanted to keep playing. And the little league I was in here in Edmonton had no problem. You're like there was a few girls sprinkled around, like just a couple of us. And then probably around the time that I maybe would have made a different decision, the women's national team was formed in 2004, and I was 14. So then that really galvanized my position to stay in baseball. And we had like a little girls team that played in a boys league at that time. I kind of switched over to Baseball Alberta. So a few things just like lined up for me.
With that, the national team, it doesn't get a ton of press, and there's just how it is. I mean, and men's and women's right across Canada. It's not a major thing, except for when they almost win at the World Cup this year. But how did that come about? Like, what did you get? Because Baseball Alberta helps with promotion of that a lot. Was it something that was just put in front of you, or how did it become a realistic goal?
It was hilariously the first one was in Edmonton.
Yeah.
Like they played in 2004 it was called Telus Field then, and I grew up here in Edmonton. So I think I just found out about it because like I heard that it was happening in Edmonton and went to go watch.
So is that something you go, hey, this is something different. This is something that's not around. This is something that maybe I can do and I can become a part of. Like, or because I have a niece who's in soccer, and when with the Canadian women's national team in soccer, that was something that inspired her. Was that something you thought, hey, you know what, I'm a pretty good ball player in my own right. This is something I can possibly become a part of. You're pretty young, but it's a realistic goal.
Oh yeah, definitely. And I just happened to hit that right age. So I was 14 and I watched them live play, and I could, they were a little better than me and a little bigger and older, but I could tell that and I knew from the roster that there were women on the team who were 16, 17, 18. So I was so close. Like I was coming right into the age of being able to make that team. And I felt like it was within my grasp. And then like you mentioned about, Baseball Alberta, like they send a Baseball Alberta women's team to a Canadian national championships every year. So, and like, I was already in like the Bantam or like the 16U version of that. So It was all just like perfect timing for me personally, I guess.
Well, it's good. Better take advantage of when you can. It's like you go back even when you're younger. Was like you said there was you had an all girls team, and then you moved up to Baseball Alberta. What was the decide? Like, how come it's just it's a hard thing to get girls to play baseball? Was it a bit of pushback from people, or that they got maybe go play softball instead? Maybe play what was the vibe like? And it's a few years ago. I'm not trying to age you or anything, but it's like I got a few on you too. So, but you just wonder, like in 2004 and younger, and then now we're in 2026. You wouldn't think that would be a thing still, but it still is.
Yeah. I think I was like a little lucky because I was just young enough, like just a young enough generation to be past like the more tougher years where like if you go back to like 70s, 80s or farther back, like it was tougher and in the early 2000s, like not too many people in Edmonton were going to get right in your face and say you couldn't try out for a team. So they would let you try out. And yeah, I guess we just, what am I trying to say here? Like there wasn't a lot of like in your face pushback. Like I think people were or were not happy with kind of girls sprinkled throughout the league, but it didn't really stop us. And I think the thing about softball is it's just so much bigger, so many more opportunities and teams and money and tournaments. And so like if you just want to play ball and you're into that, like there's no problem at all. You just easily fall into it. And so I think it's just like it's not an easier path if you want to make it to a super high level, but it's an easier path if you just want to play on a grassroots team, and there's no problem with that. And so like, yeah, I'm not really, and like nobody's against girls playing softball either. So I think just people didn't know about, and like this was also before social media, right? Like this is like pre-internet almost.
There's people who don't understand, think there is a time before social media. Yeah. So
like to
crazy
age
think that
myself.
way. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
to age myself, like I'm 14, like in the, on my parents' desktop, just like Googling, like that's all you could do. So it's like, it's just, yeah, it was just a little bit of a different time, but it wasn't as bad as you'd think. Like it wasn't like 1950s, like getting locked out and not allowed to do stuff. Like people were still pretty supportive and good.
that's no, you just wonder why it's still kind of there's some things, and like you talk about how like softball or fast pitch, where they call it a different thing, where no matter what part of the province you go to, and how big that is too as well. And then you go down and you watch the NCAA Women's World Series, and how massive that is for women. It's not like there's not opportunities, but I find it interesting when girls decide to, and it's nothing again, like it's just we especially in smaller communities, sometimes maybe that's the only option that girls might have, because there's not enough girls that want to play, and then so maybe you just not get forced into it, but it's kind of that's the way things are, and it's the only chance I really got, unless you want to travel sometimes 2-3 hours and you don't really have a opportunity to do anything else.
Yeah, totally. There's definitely that to it. Yeah, the smaller the community, the less teams there are around. And I don't begrudge anyone for wanting to play on a girls' team. Like if that's your only option to play with girls, and that is often where people go. And like I loved playing with girls too. I loved all the women's teams I played on. And then, just when there wasn't one, then I would stick it out and try to get some playing time on a boys' team to get better. But that's not like an obvious path. Like a lot of girls wouldn't even think that they're like allowed or would have an option to try out to do that. And then even if they do, it takes a lot of like gumption to go and do that. So I don't, like it's just not an easy thing to fall into. But if you love baseball, like obviously you can figure it out and go do it. And now we're trying to grow these leagues and have girls leagues, and it's great for girls. But yeah, I mean, I don't like it's softball is huge. It's great. It's its own thing, and it'll always be there for girls if they want to play. Yeah.
When you start playing for the national team, and then did any point did you kind of, I don't want to once again age you by calling you a pioneer, but that at any point did you see young girls in the stands looking up to you, and then you were only 3 or 4 or 5 years removed from that, and at what point did you kind of go, this is just big, this is a little bit bigger than the game?
Yeah. And again, is before social media. So like I didn't have Instagram followers, like that's nothing. And then we're not on TV. We're not really like, you can't really watch us play. You can pick up the odd game on YouTube. So we're like not celebrities, but you would start seeing the same girls at little girls camps we would run. And, like you do like the Baseball Alberta Winter Girls Camp, or like whatever with the national team 1-day clinic. And sometimes you'd start seeing like the same girls coming back, and they'd be getting older each year, and they would remember you. And then like they would already, like, I remember one time I went to sign a girl's bat. She wanted me to sign her bat. And then I looked at it and I had already signed it. Like, so she had like been there the year before. So, yeah, like, she didn't obviously remember me that well, but anyway, yeah, like, it's just some of those girls ended up becoming my teammates later, which was like a funny, interesting thing. And it was so great to be able to play with them. Like, obviously, something we were doing was giving them the signal that they could keep trying and playing and getting better. And then we ended up being teammates, and we kind of like laugh about it now. But that was cool to see some girls grow up and become baseball players.
Yeah, like to have that sisterhood a little bit, and you see that, and you're all of a sudden you're the big sister to these younger girls. It must have been a pretty good feeling.
Yeah, it was really fun. I was thinking about that the other night because I had like a few eras in my career. Like, there's the era where you're the youngest one. Everyone goes through this. You're the youngest one on the team, and then you're kind of like in the middle pack, and then you're like the elderly player. And there was a part I remember on Team Alberta where like my cohort had kind of all retired, and I found myself on our team, and it was like I was like 27, and all the rest of the girls were 20 and under. And I had a moment where I was like, oh, this isn't gonna be as fun anymore. My friends are all retired. And then I made the conscious decision to like let's finish this out like strong, have like a few really good years with these girls. And we really bonded. And like I really, really look fondly back on those last few years now with those younger girls. And now they're 20, 25 or whatever going on. But we just like had all our little jokes and our little memes. And that's like a special era to me, is like being able to I don't know how they thought of me. I would say the elderly player, but it was fun.
And you look back over and how are you surprised how quick it actually you called her good one in 2019, correct? And you said that's
Oh, yeah, my last year playing was 2018. Yeah.
2018. Well, when you look back on it, how quickly it probably went from 2004 right on through. Is that something you maybe tell the younger girls when they're coming up? It goes pretty quick. Before you know it, it's over, and you're I use this with other athletes too. Okay, you run out of games, and it's just kind of like, well, that's was that something you look back and how quickly it all went?
That's a great way to put it. Yeah, you just never think it's going to be over, and then suddenly it's over. And it's such a like when you're younger and people say like life experience, you're like, I don't know what that means. I don't care. And then you get older and you're like, oh yeah, they were right. So I don't know. I don't know that you can really impress that upon a 20-year-old. Like they just can't understand it until they're 30 and 40. And I'm sure when I'm 50, 60, like I won't be, like you look back and I don't think I couldn't really impress it upon them. I just hope that I think they were living their lives to the fullest and taking full advantage. And I think also maybe we didn't say it out loud, but I think it became very obvious in women's baseballs also that it can end sooner than you think. Because like when you're in high school, your parents are maybe paying for things and they're making your dinner and they're driving you around. And then suddenly you turn 19 and now you're maybe at the U of A or something. And your parents are like, well, we can't pay for your baseball Alberta fees anymore. And like it's $900 or $1,000 to go to nationals. Like
go away. You take care of
Yeah.
yourself now.
Right.
Yeah.
And
I
I
signed a
saw
contract till you turned 18. What your parents said, probably. Yeah, this is it.
like
Yeah.
like once you make the women's national team, those expenses are covered, but everything leading up to that you got to pay for. So I've unfortunately we've lost some players around 19 to 22 because they're like, I can't afford the $800 and I don't have, I'm trying to work or go to school and I don't have time to pay for a training membership to do this. And like, because we're not going on a softball scholarship where everything's covered and then suddenly things just pile up on you. And then that player's not at nationals that year. So I think people saw that and they realized that it could end at any time and they gave it their all.
I just didn't think about this, but yeah, and I don't know. That's why I'm asking. Like, is the funding different for men's and women's teams? Is there not at certain points? Is there just different financial things that happen? Because it's just it's just there's. I don't want to say more return on investment, but you get the odd kid that might end up playing and there's money come from different sources. But is the funding different, and what can be improved to get the funding to make sure it's on an equal level?
That's an interesting question. When a great example of that is at the national team level, for a long time, they always had the, what do they call it? It's like the awards gala. So like the men's and junior men's teams would come and do their annual awards, but they would bring like their alumni back. They would invite alumni, and some of those alumni are like Russell Martin and
got a couple of zeros in the bank account. Yeah. So.
and like affluent Toronto businessmen will like pay to buy a table to be at like an event and like have a chance to have their jersey signed by like Jose Bautista. Okay, so bad example because he wouldn't have played for our Canadian
I know,
team.
I know what you're saying. Yeah.
So it is a self-fulfilling prophecy, right? And like we have like an Ashley Stevenson who's like the greatest women's baseball player of all time in our country, but like no one no rich Toronto businessman is going to come and pay like to get her autograph. So then the money doesn't transfer that way. And like, I'm not saying that's Baseball Canada's fault. It's just kind of like a fact of life, right? Like with all female athletes, you're never going to have, well, we'll never say never, but like, hopefully, you know, with maybe some PWHL players, or like you see it on like the soccer team, sometimes they do have like that star power, but in baseball for sure, like we are not bringing in the bucks. So it's kind of self-fulfilling.
Well, you look at soccer like you brought up, and you have Christine Sinclair is arguably, and I don't think it's even arguably the greatest Canadian soccer player of all time. Like for what she's accomplished, and whether it be men's, women's, or whatever it may be, she's the most decorated soccer player of all time, right? And then the women's national team has had heads and shoulders more success than the men's team has had over the years, and so it is kind of funny. And then I'm not going to pretend sit here and lie to you and say that I'm a big soccer fan, but I would rather watch a women's soccer game than a men's soccer game. So it is funny how the money just doesn't, and I don't know how the financials work in soccer, but yeah, it must be a little bit tough because there's just a different spending. When you were younger, and then who was your like a baseball player that you looked up to a little bit? On first the female side when you first started watching it back in Edmonton there, but then on the male end of things, were you a Jays fan?
I'm a Jays fan, like in the sense that every Canadian is a Jays fan.
Because you're supposed to be, yeah.
Yeah, I do. Like, and obviously it gets exciting when they make it to the playoffs and you want them to win. I'm not gonna pretend that I'm a super intense Jays fan because I'll get called out. I'll get exposed quickly. Like, I also, I'm from Edmonton. Like, I'm an Oilers fan. Like, it's kind of hard to cheer for Toronto. Like,
you're allowed to say whatever you want. But being an Oilers fan right now wasn't the easiest thing either after that stinker on Friday night. Holy cow!
I know.
Yeah, throwing stuff at the TV almost. What a wreck that is.
I know. It's brutal. It's brutal. So like, but obviously, like they are like Canada's team, and like it's very fun to watch them play. And so. But I would, in terms of a favorite player, like I would say, I would have picked like any of those little scrappy second baseman kind of figures, because that's who I was kind of like trying to be. So like a Stubby Clapp, like David Eckstein, like those kinds of players.
Stubby Clapp, ex Edmonton Cracker Cat, a lot of years ago there at
that's right,
which was that Telus Field, Remax Field back, it's just a long time ago. What did you talk about like the baseball gets the Blue Jays bump? It happened in 2015, and it probably happened, and it happened right across. I was talking with Joe McFarland from Dugout Stories there. How did the Blue Jays bump happened again this year? Is that something that can only help girls baseball as well?
I definitely think so. I think that it was, like I said, exciting for everyone, including kids. And as soon as it gets warm again, kids are going to be asking to play baseball, and including girls. Like, I'm an example. All the girls I played with are examples of girls that wanted to play baseball. And so now you just Google it, you look it up, and wherever you're living, like there's way more likely to be a team for you. So yeah, you can still play t-ball, or you can play like a mixed on a boys team, and that's still great. And I'm not too sure. I need to research a little more what Little League is up to with their girls teams, but I know that Baseball Alberta has that Baseball Alberta Girls League, and it seems to be maintaining itself and growing. So now, like, yeah, unfortunately, if you live in a small town, it might not be in your town yet. But then again, it's in places like Fort McMurray and Hinton. So like, I think that there will be a bump of girls asking to play, and then they'll be like, the chances will be there more likely.
What has to happen for it to get to the next level? Like for it to get to the, I know more participation, but is it funding? Is it coaching? Is it exposure? All the above? Is it saying positive, towing the course and doing it all? Like what's it got to get to make sure? Because there's just as many guys as there are girls. There's as many little boys as there are little girls. And so what's got to happen? And this might be a thing too, but like with soccer, you can put 15 little boys or 15 little girls in the field, and here's a ball, and they run around. Baseball, there's some equipment, not a lot, but it does get a little bit spendy. Is it just a financial thing? Like what's got to happen for it to get to the next level for young women to get into the game of baseball?
I do think there's been a lot of good things that Baseball Alberta and Little League have done that they just have to keep on with. Like, they have to keep on with this league, you know, and I think they've been doing a good job. And like, unfortunately, it might take 10 to 20 years to like really cement it. Yeah, for the financials, yeah, like why does every kid need to have like a $500 bat now? Like when we were little, there was like the bat bag.
Yeah, if you got a $4 swing, you don't need a $500 bat. Yeah, it's just I don't understand it. Yeah, like it is funny. Like you bring that up, and you see every kid's got 2 pairs of Oakleys, and they got 4 gloves, and but then they're complaining, and parents are complaining about certain things. Well, they don't need it. They only got one set of eyes. It's just really strange to I don't know. If you only
But that's
one.
Yeah, that's like
That's
a larger societal thing that I don't think I can fix. It's like dogs. Like remember like in the 90s, like your dog had like a leash and a water bowl or the 80s. And now
That's all Bernie. That's my dog Bernie. That's all he's got. He eats a couple of times a day in a leash and see you later. And Bernie, he'll find something back if he gets even hungrier. You don't need all like sweaters and boots.
I don't know. There's so many sweaters, and it's like now you feel like a bad dog parent if you don't have a sweater for your dog, and it's like +5, and they're still wearing a sweater. I don't know. I feel like there's a little bit of that in all of society, including youth baseball. So I don't know how to fix that, unfortunately.
I don't think we're going to here on the Bullhorn Lethbridge Bulls baseball report on a Sunday afternoon. That's for sure. If you could give one message to parents whose girls are just getting started in a game of baseball, what's the message you would tell them now that you're a little bit older and you went through the whole ringer? What's something you would a cautionary tale maybe for parents to keep going forward?
Yeah, I would say that overall, like if they want to play baseball, it's like really good and really fun and cool sport, and it's a life skill, and that you should definitely encourage it. And like playing on a team sport is, like I said, a life skill that will improve you as an adult, as a person. And it's not that bad playing on a boys team if you have to. Like if there's no other option, like give them the chance, and they're probably going to be fine. Honestly, like nothing bad happened to me. Nothing, like most of my teammates had really good experiences. Some of the guys were actually really cool and became really good friends of mine. And so like just give them that chance, number one. And then 2, when the chance comes up to play on a girls team, like if you have all the means, I would encourage putting a little extra effort to get to that team, because that's what can really spark. Like when you're little in elementary school, you're playing on the boys team and stuff. And then like you get to that junior high age and it's like, okay, people are going through puberty and things are getting harder and the boys aren't like talking to me as much anymore. And now I feel maybe like an outcast. And it's like, okay, and now here's this girls team that's like going to Pee Wee Westerns, and you have a chance to try out. And maybe you are from Edson or something and you've never played baseball with another girl. And then you drive into Edmonton and you go to the tryout and you see 30 girls all trying out, playing baseball just as well as you or better. And you're just like, whoa, this is cool. And that kind of like sparks you to, even if you make that team and then you go back and play boys all season, but you still have that girls team to look forward to, that can like really, like, I mean, that I'm just relating my own experience, but that was amazing to have that chance to go to nationals with girls and women at the end of every summer. And unfortunately, we're like a large geographic area here. And so like, there's probably going to be some driving. There might be a few hotel nights, like, you know, and just like, if at all possible, that's where I would focus my resources to try to get them that experience playing with other women. Cause that opens your, like, this is like real baseball. And there's like a community of us that love it and we're good at it. And yeah, we can like keep going with baseball.
Confidence builder. Like it's just, yeah, like I like with my niece talk about that because she went through the COVID times and it was like pretty tough. And then she got like soccer kick kind of, I don't want to go as far as save her life, but it didn't hurt. That's for sure with all stuff that was going on there. Nicole, thank you very much for doing this here on a Sunday afternoon. And we'll see you here for the Legend of Canadian Baseball Gala on the 27th of May. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Brent.
Thanks. We'll talk to you on that Wednesday night. We'll see you then. Thank you.
Is your family outgrowing your current space? It might be time to move up, and the Shauna Gruninger Group is here to help you find the perfect fit. With years of experience and a deep knowledge of the Lethbridge market, Shauna makes upgrading easy, stress-free, and exciting. Don't wait. Your dream home and more room to grow is just a call away. Let the Shauna Gruninger Group help you relax with RE/MAX Real Estate.
The Shauna Gruninger Group with RE/MAX Real Estate Lethbridge is proud to support the Lethbridge Bulls and baseball in southern Alberta. Whether you're buying, selling, or just curious about the market, we'd love to connect and offer a complimentary market evaluation. No pressure, just helpful info. And because we love giving back, we always have Bulls tickets throughout the season. Scan the QR code to get in touch. We'd love to see you at the game.
This summer, there's only one place to be, and that's Spit Stadium.
You can sit here. Or here. You can sit here. Or here.
Or even here. But not here. Get your tickets now at bullsbaseball.com and come experience Bulls baseball all summer long. It's going to be unbelievable.
All right, that's another edition of the Bullhorn Lethbridge Bulls baseball report up on Rogers TV and on the Maple Leaf Baseball Network YouTube channel and wherever it is you do get your podcast. Thank you very much to Nicole Luchanski and Lucas Huynh for joining us here on the show today. I'll go for some from different events that are happening. Got so many going on, I don't want to miss anything, so that's why I got the laptop here. They're all really important. It's got a lot to try to remember. Champions Beyond the Diamond event, women in the world of baseball, different things that women can do. To me and Kevin talked about last Bullhorn, but there's on the 25th of the month that gets going on the Monday night at the Sandman Signature. There will be a draw for 2 people to go to the gala that Nicole will be talking at, and Kevin Pillar, obviously, on the 27th, the Wednesday. Girls Got Game Camp on the Friday and the Saturday. Celebrity Kids Camp on the 27th. That one's filling up pretty quick, and that one's on the 29th. Sorry, so the 28th, 29th are the camps, or 29th and 30th. 29th and 30th are the camps for the Girls Got Game. Then we have the TCMM Memorial Game. That is on the 26th is when that game is. So that should be a lot of fun. Banana Ball Game and alumni from PBA. Got lots going on. So just make sure you go to bullsbaseball.com. It's under the Canadian Grand Slam of Baseball. All the events are right through there, and it'll tell you everything for ticketing information, signing things up for people. And yes, but more importantly, we have the Bulls season. It's only just 4 weeks away before we get going for real here at Spit Stadium. So that's it. Another edition of the Bullhorn Lethbridge Bulls baseball report on Rogers TV and the Maple Leaf Baseball YouTube channel. Horns up, everybody, and we will see you all again in a couple of weeks.
For sponsorship opportunities with the Bulls, email partnerships@bullsbaseball.com. All Lethbridge Bulls home and away games can be seen live on Flow College. Are you a Bull-liever? Want to be part of the Bulls in 2026? We're now recruiting volunteers for media, game day ops, and more. Join the herd today.